Yeah, I think sometimes people just even use the term manager when they don't really even have it. They might tell a girl or a prospective employee that they are a manager, and they make the schedule, and they may be able to fit them in somewhere on the schedule nice, just to sort of sweeten the pot for themselves a little bit.
I usually like to not be known as a GM, right? It's actually it takes a lot of pressure off when people don't know you're the manager.
Yeah, and you've never had to use your manager card to get a girl because you just gaze into their eyes. It's locked up.
No, I take my job very, very seriously, and
that's right, baby.
Absolutely.
I haven't really been able to break you yet. Try to get you to...
Is that what you've been trying to do this whole time? Yeah. What are we at, 43 minutes? You're still trying to break me?
I've been trying to get you to say something you might regret.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special guest today, the tall and handsome Chris Boutros. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Boutros, that's it?
Boutros, yeah.
Boutros, nice. What is that?
It's the name itself is the Egyptian. So my grandfather was born in Cairo.
Oh,
I mean, I'm only 25%, but Egyptian, English, and Irish. I'm kind of a mutt. But yeah, okay. Boutros.
You got those Egyptian eyes. you and Jamel. I know Jamel's not Egyptian, but yeah, you guys got those eyes. I'm just glad my girlfriend's not here. She's at work.
That's all right. I had a girlfriend too, so we're all good on that front.
What?
So I had a girlfriend too, so we're all good on that.
All right. Good. Perfect. You can come out. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what's going on, man? How you been?
Not much. Obviously it's cold as hell outside, but just been working, steady working, keeping busy. No, things are good.
Yeah,
things are good.
You're at Cashmere.
I'm at Cashmere.
You opened that spot up, right?
I did. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was there kind of a month before actually opening. We opened up July 4th weekend, and part of that was all construction, so I got to see kind of the ins and outs of it really getting built from the ground up. So that was good. It was good.
How's it doing over there?
It's doing good. We're doing well. Yeah, I mean, like every new venue, there's a little bit of learning curve to what kind of music to play, what kind of demographic you want coming in the venue. Meaning, we got a much older crowd than I think we initially anticipated, which is good. I mean, our crowd's late 20s to mid 40s. A lot of older couples come through. I mean, we're doing 40th birthday parties, 50th birthday parties, so definitely a little bit different than what I've been used to.
That's dope.
In the industry, but it's been great.
And it's strictly house music, right?
It is strictly house, yeah.
Strictly house. Is it like a specific type of house generally, or is it just like anything that's 120 to 130 BPMs?
Yeah, so, somewhere in there. We like to keep it kind of, sexy, cocktail lounge kind of vibe in the very beginning of it. And that's part of the things about opening up a new venue like that. You have one predominant sound that you want to play, which I love house. So, for me, it's awesome. But, we went through some trials and tribulations with DJs trying to figure out what the right sound is. We picked up on, and now we're kind of doing more resident style DJs, so we get really hyper focused on one kind of specific house sound. But, we play A to Z, deep, loungy, Afro beats, reggaeton, spice it up here and there with some DJs that have that kind of that flair to it. But we keep it fun, we keep it sexy, and I think people are enjoying it.
Dope. What days are you guys open?
So we're only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday as of right now.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you have a Thursday party.
We do have a Thursday party.
Dope.
Try to grow that Thursday party. Definitely Fridays and Saturdays we've been rocking out. Towards the very beginning of Cashmere, every day was pretty packed. But I feel like people just aren't even going out in the city on Thursdays anymore. Fridays too. Fridays is a weird day.
Thursdays, I feel like have always been tough, bro. Mm-hmm. Like even since I opened up Bottle Blonde doing Thursdays there.
Yeah.
And did it until they closed. And it was always the toughest day. You'd have like some good ones, some bad ones, but it was so fucking hard to stay consistent on Thursday.
100%. Yeah. And it's difficult with there's a lot of places, a lot of other venues in the city also trying to do Thursday parties. So, you're competing with, 20 other venues on the same night.
Yeah.
And, Fridays and Saturdays, like I said, we've been doing pretty damn well on, but, it's just tough. We're all competing, I think, for the same 10,000 people every single weekend. You know what I mean? So, definitely some good Thursdays, some some bad here and there, but it's every venue. Go through the ups and downs of it.
Yeah, but you are in the West Loop, which is, I think, the best place to be right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Fulton Market District, but at the very west end. There's positives and negatives to it, right? So I say 3 years from now, I'll have a lot more people kind of migrating that way, just with I know they have new residential buildings popping up everywhere, but with just like retail spaces and things like that, the traffic, at least the foot traffic, will start to migrate a little more west. I think our biggest challenge at this point is because Kashmir is so far west, it's kind of on its own little island that, it's kind of a destination spot. So we don't get the West Loop's the spot to be, but we're not getting a lot of that foot traffic that you'll see on Randolph Street. So
yeah, right.
Definitely have to work a little bit harder to get guests in the building, but the positive is that people do come up to the front door. They're here for Kashmir. So it's like, they're talking to their friends. They're figuring out where they want to go, and, they're on their way.
What's the building? It's in the bottom of, it's not a residential building that it's in the bottom of, is it?
No, it's one of these kind of new age hotels called Sonder.
Okay.
Basically, it's like an extended Airbnb kind of deal. Like, there's no concierge, no front desk. You scan your phone at the front door, and that's how you get up and into your spot. So people do like month-long residencies there, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's sort of a dope amenity for a hotel. Sort of a little nightclub in the bottom.
Little nightclub, little cocktail lounge in the first floor. We've had there's some people that absolutely love it, and there's some people that absolutely hate it.
I could imagine, yeah.
We've had some angry residents from that building come down, but we work with them, they work with us to make sure the sound levels aren't too crazy, and we just want to be good neighbors.
Yeah. So I heard that with the incoming of like Google, and then they got the McDonald's there, and then what else big corporations, companies are in the West Loop? Did Barstool just went? The Barstool offices, are those in the West Loop?
Did they now? I don't think so. I don't think I've heard about the Barstool. I know that Google one is closer towards like Green Street over there, but I don't think Barstool's made their way west yet.
Okay, I'm not sure where the Barstool, but like the McDonald's and the Google. I heard that they talked to the city of Chicago and convinced them to make a bunch of, or a certain percentage of the housing in that area, like affordable housing, so that they could get their interns that they need at those companies to be able to be interns on obviously a low paying salary or whatever it is, but still be able to live close and get to work and all that. So that's kind of a dope thing for that neighborhood, is to have younger, fresh out of college, intern age type people to be partying and
just be in that area. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the people that live in residence like Park Fulton, there's like the Evo, there's a whole mess of these new residential properties, and the demographic is around, I'd say, my age, 29, kind of like that, like late 20s to maybe even early, like late 30s, early 40s kind of deal. But I mean, I've talked to some of the property managers in those residential buildings. It's kind of expensive. I mean, I was asking for what a 1-bed, 1-bath is. I'm trying to get out of River North just myself and move west, but she was telling me like a little less than $2,800, $3K, $3,200 for some of these spots, depending on how high you go.
Rent's insane.
It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It makes it hard to pick up and move when you're moving into something that's probably a little bit more expensive than what you were paying beforehand. But
yeah, you're in River North, and it's crazy because like downtown is I feel like less desirable place to be at the moment, especially River North with fucking the uptick in crime and all that, and the rent is still holding strong or maybe even going up.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough with I mean, I think a lot of the venues and just the neighborhood itself of River North has definitely kind of seen that uptick in crime. It kind of affects their venues, it affects the street itself, it affects people even wanting to go and party down there, which is tough. Obviously Chicago's an awesome city. We all love it here. We all live here for a reason. So it's tough to see, that kind of, crime itself just kind of make its way through and kind of, make it hard for people like us to go out and party, and just make it, tough for people to come into the city and want to go out and party at some of these places.
Yeah.
Which I will say is one of the nice things I liked about Kashmir is because we are off on an island, far away from, just River North in general. But again, like I said before, it makes it difficult to get everyone out here when we're not walking distance to a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
definitely one of the uphill battles of being kind of that far west. But the reason Kashmir was almost created of itself is, I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but we have 2 restaurants, a part of Bond Home Hospitality, right across the street, Bombala and Coquette. Bombala is what we call it, a Silk Road restaurant. It envelops, 5 different regions over like the Middle East down into Southeast Asia, and the cuisines along, the old Silk Road, which is, Coquette is more of a French Parisian restaurant, little cute, intimate spot. It seats about 50 people, but the reason you want to do that is because we do a lot of cross-selling between the two. So if you have, a dinner reservation over at Bombala or Coquette, usually the managers over there will send them over to Kashmir for champagne. You just spent X amount of money over here, offer us a little bit of hospitality on the other end with a free bottle of champagne, get people seated, and kind of have an all-in-one night kind of hospitality experience. It's been working great. We get a lot of people that, dinner over here and drinks and dancing over here, and it's been working out pretty well.
Dope.
But yeah, it makes it hard when we're kind of the first 3 restaurants kind of taking over that little corner of Randolph and Ogden. I bet 3 years from now, once we kind of get through the growing pains of West Loop as people migrate this way, we'll start to see and reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, that'll be dope. And for someone who's been managing in nightlife for how long?
Managing in nightlife specifically, it'll be a little less than 5 years.
Almost 5 years, yeah. And 2 spots that I know of only, which is, I think, impressive. Because I see a lot of managers as DJs, we play at all the spots. We want to play at all the spots, try and play at all the spots. And I see a lot of managers that are basically on the same route as the DJs. They're managing at all the spots.
Yeah.
They're one day they're over here, next day they're over there, then they're over there, then they're over there. They're bouncing around. They come back to the spots that they were at before.
Yeah, 100%.
It's insane. I've never understood it. I don't understand how they last in this industry. So when I see someone that's like committed to 1 or maybe 2 spots because they're promoted or whatever it is, you know what I mean? I think that is that's hard to find.
Yeah, well, first of all, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, from the time I got started at Joy District, right? I started as a floor manager and, rose up through that to AGM and then finally GM for about 1.5 years. And I did leave Joy District, but I have nothing but praises to Carmen Rossi, to Chris Bader. I got to meet guys like Paulie and Riz, and growing up and getting mentored by all of them and working at a venue when I was started at 26 years old at Joy. I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity and also the experience I got working at Joy at such a young age and being a general manager at such a young age. But yeah, it's the venues I work for, it's not just this isn't like a short-term thing for me. I want to open up venues on my own someday. And, I like to be there and help develop and, see actual real progress that I'm bringing to the table. Obviously with the help of, takes a village to make it all work. But, I'm happy with the teams, and sometimes you cut loose and do something different, which is kind of when I found Kashmir.
Yeah. And take me through the different managerial positions here, because I've always been a little bit lost, because there's, I'll be at one place and they got 17 different managers and I don't know who's doing what, and they all got different titles.
100%.
There's
and you look confusing.
There's 6 different directors of operations. What's going on there?
I mean, every company runs differently, right? Yeah. It's sometimes it takes a few more people just to get the ship moving. But I mean, listen, for me at Kashmir, I'm kind of a one-man show over there. Obviously we have a marketing team, we have a director of ops team, which are amazing people. They help me out when and where I need it. But yeah, I mean, there's no other manager. I mean, I am my own number 2, and it can be difficult at times, just kind of being solo in an operation like that, where you kind of feel the weight on your shoulders of, okay, here's a new venue in town. There's a lot of good buzz around it, but at the same time, want to step up and do my part to make sure things run smoothly and ultimately bring in sales to make it all happen. So it can feel a lot of weight sometimes, but it's all about, the people around you, the teams you got. But, some venues have, like you said, 5, 6 managers. I know when I was at Joy, I needed 3 or 4 other managers to help me get through 7 days a week, so I didn't burn myself out. But yeah, I mean, it's people. Every venue runs differently, right? Every venue's had different ownership. Every venue's had different, whether it's a little more corporate or a little more kind of shoot at the waist kind of operation. People roll with what they got, and sometimes venues don't work out for some managers. Some venues do, and I got lucky with Joy. I will say that. Yeah, it was a pleasure working there. So shout out Carmen Rossi, shout out Chris Bader.
Yeah, we just had Carmen on. The Carmen pod actually just dropped today. It was great. He's fantastic. And we were talking about him coming back on with Bader, I think. So
right. that'll be a funny podcast.
See if we can make that happen. Yeah, I think sometimes people just even use the term manager when they don't really even have it, just to get laid. You know what I'm saying? They might tell a girl or a prospective employee that they are a manager, and they make the schedule, and they may be able to fit them in somewhere on the schedule to sort of sweeten the pot for themselves a little bit.
I mean, I've definitely seen other people use, say that they are a manager just to get girls, but yeah, I mean, it's, I usually like to not be known as a GM.
Yeah,
you right? Just it takes a lot of pressure off when people don't know you're the manager. Just like in the middle of the shift, whatever the case may be. Just heavy wears the crown, so you get a lot of complaints. People kind of going to you for everything, this and that. They can get deals here and there, but no, actually, I actually prefer to stay a little more low key at a managerial level, just in terms of when I'm talking to guests. Obviously, there's a time when I'm talking to clients and things like that. Obviously, a position of authority, kind of a title of authority, definitely plays into that conversation. But no, it's to get away from the bullshit. Sometimes it's better to not be known as the manager.
Yeah, and you've never had to use your manager card to get a girl because you just gaze into their eyes. It's locked up.
No, I take my job very, very seriously, and there's usually too much bullshit to be going on to deal with any of that. So
true. Were you at Joy District for the Strategy and Dolo debacle?
I don't think so.
When the whole thing happened with me and the front door man and Rudy, that was right when Rudy was coming in.
Rudy coming into Joy?
Yeah, for Friday nights. Me and Dolo had the Friday nights there. We started the Strategy and Dolo show at Joy District.
What time was that at? Like, year-wise?
It had to be maybe late 20. Well, it was summer for sure, because when we started on the rooftop. Okay. The whole thing was like we started DJing at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something on the rooftop, both of us, and then one of us would go downstairs and open up the club at 10.
Yeah.
And then when the rooftop closed at 12, the dude who was up there would come down, and then we'd finish it off together.
That had to have been prior to COVID, yeah?
Oh, it was way before. It was either 2016 or 2017.
So I definitely got started, I know for a fact, I got started right as COVID was like, not over, but like, this is when we came out of the quarantine, this and that. I got started. Okay. That was when I first got started. So, I mean, oh my God, that was such a terrible time trying to be a manager and deal with all that, because we were running pretty tight ship, just because we can only really do the rooftop because it had the open air. You could operate if you had some open air. That's why people were doing these massive constructions on the side of sidewalks and shit for restaurants. But yeah, I mean, it was those first couple of months and even that year of like dealing with all the COVID rules and regulations following that, it was a nightmare. Okay. And absolutely, I just was changing consistently. But no, I don't think I was there for your
no, you weren't,
your Dolo debacle.
You weren't there for the debauchery. It was.
Tell me what happened.
It was quite the
let me know.
So there was I was doing the send nude stuff. I was doing all the stickers and just being a wild boy, all that. And there was a hostess that worked at Joy that I was kind of messing with, whatever, this and that. And then the front door man started dating her, and then was like mad at me because I used to mess with her. And then it became a whole thing. And then Rudy was just starting his whole music life management thing and his like promotions or whatever he does now. And he was coming in there. Me and Dolo were getting a nice check. We were like, we were working fucking 8 to 2.
This was Fridays, right?
This was Fridays, yeah. Maybe it might have even been 6 to 2, because I remember it was a ridiculous amount of hours, but we made it happen because we asked for a lot of money. And then there's some cracks in the system. The foundation is shaky a little bit now that there's this whole issue with the hostess and me and the doorman who's like related to one of the owners, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Rudy comes in and he's trying to get Friday nights. He's like trying to talk his way into Friday nights to get us out, and kind of using this whole other situation as leverage too. Like, He's teamed up with the doorman now, trying to get me out because I was banging his girl. It was a whole thing. It was a big...
This industry, I swear, it can be pretty cutthroat in that aspect. I mean, obviously, I wasn't part of the Joy team when that all happened, but I mean, you see it every now and then. Some people turn on some other people. I try to stay away from that as much as possible. Just again, it only leads to fucking nothing but bullshit. But no, this industry can be pretty cutthroat. Everything from servers to bartenders, even your support staff. It can be, whether it's fighting for shifts or fighting for, as a promoter side, days of the week at a certain venue that's popping off. It can get a little nasty sometimes.
For sure, yeah. It was. I mean, it's all water under the bridge now. Me and Rudy are cool. I still work at Joy. I'll be at Joy on Saturday. Right on. It's all good, but it was a fun time. Yeah. It was a nice little drama. It was like it's the Real Housewives live in front of you. You know what I mean? It's like everyone loves a little drama. We all watch it on TV, but it was happening in real life. Yeah. So you were there after that. Were you a bartender before you were a floor manager? How'd you get into the industry?
So I've been working in hospitality in kind of a number of different ways. Actually, ever since I got out of college at Indiana, it's always been hospitality for me in different sectors. I guess what really kicked it off was when I was in college. I worked at Indiana. I worked for the main bar on campus called Kilroy's on Kirkwood. Right, huge venue, had an awesome patio. It was the spot to be. And they had 3 other locations in Bloomington, Indiana, and it all got started when it was one day I was pledging a pledge of fraternity, and as a pledge, one of the older guys in the house had a shift over at Kilroy's, basically just a door staff guy, busting tables, doing dishes, that kind of shit. He tells me one day, "Hey Chris, I need to cover my shift at Kilroy's." I was like, I'm a pledge, so I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna say? So I go over there.
He didn't ask you, he told you.
Oh yeah, he told me. It wasn't. Yeah, there was no do I have a choice kind of thing. It's like I'm fucking going. Can't remember what the fuck else I was doing, but yeah. So got sent over there, and I fucking fell in love with it right away. Like immediately, I was like, I love this place. Like I love, just the atmosphere of it. It was awesome. So after that, I did a couple more shifts for him, and then eventually was like, hey, can you give me a job here? So worked there freshman year all the way through senior year. I was a busser, barback, server, bartender, manager. So I did bartending and managing my junior, senior year. And I swear, I tell people this all the time. I learned more about business doing that job and just kind of the ins and outs of, dollar here, dollar there, and learn from some good people at that company. And that kind of sparked my hospitality drive going forward.
Yeah.
Following that, I was actually doing coffee and tea sales for 2.5 years in Chicago. Worked for a company called CBC Specialty Beverage. And then working with, Let Us Entertain You, the Trump Hotel, various, cafes and restaurants throughout the city. And, that was a good gig as well. I got to see a little more of the distribution side. Then I actually took a year and was in Los Angeles doing a marijuana company with my friends. That failed miserably, lost a ton of money, and then came back to Chicago. And then right around then, COVID was happening. So, waited out COVID. And I said, what do you want to do, Chris? I said, fuck, I'm getting back in hospitality. That's when my managerial career got started.
Okay. Nice. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Little timeline for you.
So you went, did you try and start your own brand of weed, like cookies, like your own cookies?
No,
what were you guys doing out there?
I have a good friend, his name is Jordan, who actually I was just telling you about, came back from Mexico this past weekend for his wedding. And he and another boy named James, they were out there, and he went to U of A. Right? So they were out there in Tucson, and they were doing a little distribution thing together. And his buddy James took it over to Los Angeles, and basically was just like a distribution / delivery service, right? So we were taking in products, and this is, everyone likes to say they're the best shit, the best pot, everyone's talking the big game about their own products, but, we were looking for high quality product, everything from THC to CBD and, various things in between. But we went into it as kind of like a handshake deal, you know what I mean? Like, we're all boys here, so let's just be a team. There was no contracts written, which is obviously in hindsight pretty stupid, but at the same time, made for good learning experience, this and that. So it was a delivery service. It was called Kush Clinic. And obviously it didn't pan out. Me and Jordan both lost a ton of money and went back to Chicago.
Is it something that you feel like you learned from, like you did it, you learned, and now if you were to do it again, you'd be able to do it again, but correctly because of what you didn't do the first time?
as a business learning lesson, yeah, absolutely. Like, would I want to go back into the oversaturated market of the weed game right now? Definitely not.
Yeah.
That being said, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, gotta learn who your partners are, gotta learn, working with your best friend is tough as well. Love Jordy to death, but, things get out of hand at some level. I mean, this guy, James, was his boy as well. So, like, we're all pretty good friends. We all knew each other for a handful of years, but sometimes it just gets to the point where, money gets in the way and, operations in the way, and
for sure
it just doesn't pan out. But as a business lesson, yeah, I mean, it's a learning curve. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time in LA. People there suck, but it's it was still a good experience.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to working with friends and money being a factor in like ways that you wouldn't even think of before having done it. Like let's say you guys got a marketing budget or a marketing idea
Sure.
that you think could really progress the company, and you want to do it because you have the money to put up and you're financially responsible enough to have this money to put up and potentially waste. Let's say it doesn't
Sure.
follow through. It doesn't make a difference in the company, this marketing tactic. But you're fine because you got your ass covered with you're responsible on the back end. If your boy is not necessarily in the same boat, maybe he's spending all of his money that's coming in and not necessarily as financially responsible as you, he's not going to want to take that risk to put up that money to endeavor on this marketing thing
100%.
that could potentially push the company forward. And that's just a difference in lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's like people don't really factor that in.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I feel like probably that's with every company, but, especially if it's like your boy that you're kind of doing this, this company with, right? It's important that kind of from the get-go, you guys have, hopefully the right direction. And sometimes, after a certain while, the company's, it's born, you're working through it, and then directions change. It's always important, I guess, to make sure that, everyone's on the same page with all that. But yeah, I mean, it could also, be the detriment to said company, right? If things, one person, one co-founder, let's call it, is, going one direction with it or sees a different direction than the other person, there's definitely ways to come together on it, and then there's sometimes it kind of just blows up in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, open communication, I think, with any partner is good, right? I mean, I know one day if I want to open up my own venues, I want to make sure that me and the guys that invest in me understand that, hey, this is what we agreed on, strategize together. Shout out to Strategy.
Your second one today, actually.
What's that?
You're the second person to do that today.
What's that? Oh, strategize.
Yeah.
Love how that works. But yeah, it's important that, should I open up a venue of my own, it's, gotta make sure that the people that invest in me, we're all on the same page, that this is the direction, and not try to pivot when things look when things look like they're down or they're not going the right way. I will say it's kind of an interesting point, because I feel like that happens sometimes with venues here in the city that, like, they want to switch it from, say, the style of music, right? Place is all house, but they want to switch it up because hip hop might be more in style. Mm-hmm. And hip hop has been in style. I love my hip hop, but like sometimes it it can definitely throw venues for a loop. It might change the brand of the venue itself. It might impact like the core crowd of people that are coming to that venue.
Yeah. I mean, and actually on the podcast with Carmen, he made a really good point that stuck with me about like being consistent in what you do at your venue. He said like a restaurant that I enjoy going to, like he said La Scarola was the example. He's like, I know what I'm going to get there. I go there, it's Italian, it's incredible every single time. He's like, it's not Italian on Monday and then tacos on Tuesday
100%.
And then Wednesday you got kebabs. It's like they know what they're doing. They're giving you exactly what they're good at, and you go there expecting just that.
100%.
And a lot of places have identity crises because they get a little nervous. Maybe, you're doing all house music and there could be a slow season. February comes up, it's a little cold, not as many people going out, and you sort of panic and you're like, oh, well, hip hop's hot right now, let's do a hip hop night.
100%.
And it sort of throws a wrench in the whole thing.
100%. I mean, there's definitely ways you can strategize it. I mean, I know at Joy right now they do like a Throwback Thursday, where it's like all your 90s and 2000s and kind of like those hits that, you know, a lot of us grew up on, which I'm all for. I think that's cool. I think it's a good way to kind of like pivot, but like pivot in like a fun kind of direction where it's like, hey, this is like a theme night at a venue that typically is open format, and it's cool. I mean, it's funny. A story I have when I was working at Joy, I was pitching this idea. Just like I said, I love house music, and one of the things I pitched them, this was 2 or 3 years ago, pitched them something called the Joy House Series, right? So it was basically just bringing back house music into Joy. It's the first time I ever went to Joy District. I was on the rooftop. I will never forget it. And it was some DJ was playing, and it was just all house set, and I was blown away. I was first time going to a venue like that, and on the rooftop in Chicago, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, house music on this rooftop, gave me a fucking vibe. So when I brought that back, or at least I pitched it to them, I remember everyone in that meeting laughing at me, being like, hey, like, it's just not gonna work. Like, just not what we're known for. So I'm like, all right, give me a shot. And then I actually ended up starting that party on the first floor in Parlay, and they paired it up with a party that was already going on just Thursdays when the club were open at that time. So gave it my best shot. It actually worked out pretty decently well. So I was like, hey, let's give me the 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. slot on the rooftop during the summer, and just make it all house. Get an early layer of people in that come here for house. Get that beautiful summertime shy glow on the rooftop. Weather's beautiful, and then you can switch it up into more open format as people come in for that later evening kind of rooftop session, and then hit the club for more open format. And I think they're still running it to this day. I know I have a couple of buddies that are actively promoting Joy Rooftop Saturdays as house music. So it's cool to see that kind of come to fruition and see them still doing it. So yeah, more power to them. I think that that Joy Rooftop was made for house music. It was made for that kind of vibe, and I think honing in and harnessing that has been nothing but good for them.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. I love when a good idea comes to life and 100%. It's
so
long lasting.
Going from Joy to Cashmere, where it's all house music, it's it's awesome.
Nice.
Right? Definitely my vibe. Definitely the vibe I think Chicago is missing, or has been missing for a little bit. I mean, you got your places like Spy Bar and Sound Bar. Prism does a great job of bringing some high quality upper echelon DJs, but this city needs a little more house in its life, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna take a piss. Sorry, Howie's got to pee in the middle.
No worries.
We'll just cut it out. I'm right back.
Oh.
Sorry, it's hard to stay well hydrated and sit for an hour straight.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. House music it's the shit right now. I'm gonna be honest. I want to DJ more just straight house stuff. It's hard for me a little bit because I do love the ability to break up a set with some other type of music just to come back with that energy. It gets a little tough. Things sort of get stagnant.
100%.
But if you do it right and you know what you're doing, you could pull it off for sure. And also, if that's what the crowd is there for, that makes the biggest difference in the world.
100%.
Because there's a lot of places that are open format for the most part, and then they're like, oh, we want to play house music. We want to play house music. Play more house music. And I'm like, you got to let people know that that's what's going on in here.
You can't just transition over to a house song and and then make that the rest of your set and expect people to hear it from the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, like, sometimes for me the most fun about playing house music is that you can play something that isn't like EDM. It's not Martin Garrix level big room 100%. Festival house that's like shake the whole room and explode your head, but you can play like a good tech house Matroda or Dom Dalla song or something like that. That's not necessarily the most explosive energy, but in the right room with the right people who are looking for that, it goes nuts.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Totally agree. And I encourage DJs also, especially at Cashmere, like throw in a little more vocals, right? We want that sexy kind of cocktail loungy vibe but it's hard to play strictly house music in that kind of format to I don't want to say an empty room, but like house music can get pretty stale to the customer that's inside your venue, unless there's like a vibe and people are, actively kind of bobbing their heads to it, this and that.
Yeah.
But I encourage, obviously there are people coming to Kashmir for their first time, and they might get turned off by the music if it's not like their kind of speed of house. I know there are a ton of people that do love it. But at the same time, I encourage you just to play stuff a little more, not commercial, but throw in some vocals there. Maybe mix in, a hip hop chorus of a song with a tasty beat to it. And people that are kind of on the fence about, the style of music that we do at Kashmir or, other venues that are typically predominantly house music venues, gets them to be like, oh, shit, like, I love the song, I'm grooving to it, a house music beat, but I can sing along and still, still have fun with it,
Right. Yeah, so like a lot of the remixes and stuff.
100%.
Okay, so you guys like that over there.
I mean, I like to hear it every so often.
Yeah.
I think it can get, if you keep hearing the same, just constantly without throwing a little bit of vocals in there, something to at least, catch a different energy of house music. I think it plays into the general public of people that are coming in because the venue's beautiful, the drinks are good, but music is always the big kicker with people in terms of where they like to go out.
Yeah. Because I like to hear that because like when I think of Spy Bar, if I were to DJ at Spy Bar, I would like almost be embarrassed to play one of the ill ass remixes that I have. Like I love a lot of these house remixes right now where they take a hip hop song and they put an amazing beat behind it with a great drop and all that.
100%.
But like we're in Chicago, the home of house music. That is like a house spot. And I would almost feel embarrassed to drop something like that in there.
You're definitely not wrong. I definitely understand that kind of like, shit, is this gonna work or is it not gonna work? Are they gonna call me back, driver, or no? But it's difficult because a place like Spy Bar, it definitely has a certain sound. I applaud them for bringing in some major acts into that room. I mean, shit, I used to live right next door to that building.
Yeah,
and that was our go-to spot for ever. That was when I was working for that coffee company, so I had more time on my hands. I've not been back to Spy Bar in over a year. And it sucks to be, it's difficult to be a manager in this industry or work in this industry because, you hear about other spots opening up and you want to go and check them out and kind of, feel out the crowd and see, all right, is this place cool? What's it all about? You hear a lot of hype around other venues, but it's difficult when you're kind of, you have to be at your own venue. It's like, damn, I would love to check that out. I mean, predominantly just Spy Bar, but no, there's definitely some other spots, you want to check out and see what the hype is all about. But, no, I mean it's always fun to be at your own venue though.
Yeah. What kind of house head are you? Were you listening to house music on the way over here in the whip?
I was, yeah. I was.
What were you bumping?
I got started on progressive house. Like that's what really did it for me. Like Eric Prydz was like big for me growing up. Yeah, I mean like him and other progressive guys like that. I'm blanking on some ones, but like I know there are a few like Eric Prydz songs that I still will throw on like consistently, just like it just hits different, right?
Yeah.
And then my house, the spectrum of house I listen to has definitely changed over the years. More so just taking it all in and liking new and different styles of house. But actually, we had DJ Lek playing over at Kashmir this past Saturday, and I was hearing some more progressive, which is not typically what we hear at Kashmir. There'll be a few songs thrown in there, but I came over to him and was like, yo, like the crowd is really feeling this one. He's like, Chris, I'm feeling the same way. I think we do a little more progressive set tonight. And he rocked out progressive for like another hour and a half and just absolutely crushed it.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Absolutely crushed it.
And you guys have residents you have a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night resident?
What we're trying to do is just, like I said, they're the first like handful of months with Kashmir. We're trying to play with the music format a little bit, see what kind of style of house works, what doesn't work. If you start leaning into one end of the spectrum, it might, dissuade some people from actually returning back to the venue, which is understandable. Again, music is a big reason why people go out, and it's why they go out to certain places. It's what they want to hear. But no, it's when I talked about residents, I talked about more of like a collection of artists and DJs that I know for a fact would come into the room and play it. Not exactly what I want to hear, but most or what the venue needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Right? And it's good. It's fun to also get some DJs that I've predominantly known working at Joy that I've only really ever seen in kind of open format setting. But there are a lot of DJs that hit me up that want to come play Kashmir, and I think a lot of DJs are get started on house music, like they become DJs. Well, actually, let me ask you, like you're a DJ, right? What was it did it for you? Like, what was the music that you were like, I want to learn how to DJ to play this?
It was hip hop for me.
It was hip hop, really?
Hip-hop,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like underground, old school, Tribe Called Quest, Nas, Gangstar.
That's dope. I love that. But see, like, each DJ is different, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool to give some of the DJs that, again, like I said, consistently, I've been hearing them play only open format, to do them like a straight house set, and most of them, all of them come in and just rock out.
Yeah, house is right now is dope.
Yeah.
The stuff that's coming out right now,
that's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun shit being released right now.
Yeah, there's great house music coming out right now.
Yeah,
and it's easier to mix because it's that 100%. Consistent tempo. It's usually around the same BPM. It's formatted for mixing more than anything, I think.
It's true.
So when you have a dope DJ that can play the right songs but mix them, and you see that DJ's abilities to actually mix tracks come through in a house set, I feel like that's when you get the best.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely a mixing style of music.
Yeah,
for sure. That's cool. I actually, for a reason, I didn't picture you as a guy that would, the old school hip hop, Tribe Called Quest, but I did that. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And you guys had Apollo XO recently over at Kashmir, right?
We did.
You said he wasn't even able to hook up the gear correctly.
Yeah. If he saw that, he'd come over here and slap the shit out of you. But no, Apollo came in on a Friday. He crushed it.
Nice.
Absolutely crushed it.
No, yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, I love Apollo.
Yeah, he's
shout out Apollo, my dog.
He's the dude. Have you ever had anyone there DJ off a laptop?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be like,
it's definitely not. I kind of know what you mean by when you say that. Definitely far and few between. I get some of the DJs that come through that have a laptop. It is what it is. Why do you say that?
I'm just asking. I don't know. I want to see.
Do you DJ with a laptop?
I DJ off a laptop.
Gotcha,
but it's like you understood what I meant. I kind of wanted to see if you understood what I meant. Like most house guys are playing off sticks.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Predominantly. That's what I said. You get very rarely have I had a DJ, and we've been open for 6 months at Kashmir, that come in and play off a laptop.
Yeah.
It's no skin off my nose, right? It made some difference to me, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Shout out laptop DJs.
Goddamn right. That's right, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just I like to throw a couple loops in there, see how you react. I haven't really been able to break you yet. Try to get you to...
Is that what you've been trying to do this whole time?
Yeah.
What are we at, 43 minutes? You're still trying to break me?
I've been trying to get you to say something you might regret. You're very political. Or your answers are very political. Very straight down the line. Don't get too crazy.
Just answering, honestly.
I like it. I like it.
Oh.
Yeah, so what do you have maybe some plans coming up that I don't want you to spoil anything, but maybe you got some coming up, some sort of announcement in your back pocket? Maybe you guys are doing a new night coming up or something, an industry night or anything like that, an event?
Actually, it's cool you mentioned that. Actually, I applaud you for mentioning it. So with Kashmir, right, we want it to be a music venue, but not a music venue. You know what I mean? So and I think that's one of the things we didn't want to do in terms of our identity, right, is come in right off the bat, opening weekends, maybe 2, 3, or 4 weekends in, and get a really big name DJ in there. Because I feel like people start to see like really big names. Right now we're going through a lot of the Chicago local legends, right? And these guys are all been crushing it for years here in the city. But what we didn't want to do was bring in like a very expensive artist and kind of change people's perception of what Kashmir is, right? But with that being said, one of the things we originally wanted to do at Kashmir prior to opening was start a live music sector. So when I say live music, I'm talking about, jazz bands, some male and female vocalists, kind of some solo acts. But we're actually following the new year, we're going to start doing a little more of a live music sector at Cashmere. So we're thinking 8 to 10, 8 to 11. We'll pair it with a good opening DJ. So they'll come and maybe do, a couple of 30-minute sets here and there of just some live music, and change it up a little bit, right? Add a different style of not only sound, but different kind of image for Cashmere. It was kind of always been the plan originally, but we took a step back and kind of went with the opening of just doing strictly opening and closing DJs. But we're excited. We're gonna wait till after the holidays, after the buzz of the new year, and then do a big marketing drop on it. But you're the first to hear that we're gonna start some live music. So
nice, baby. You heard it here first. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Live music at Cashmere.
That's right. I think that's awesome. Live music is the shit.
Absolutely.
And
it's different. You know what I mean?
It's tough to find in Chicago, honestly. I mean, there's your classic spots that do it, but it's few and far between.
Yeah. And we're not trying to compete with those kind of spots either. You have like your Kingston Mines that do awesome like bluegrass and jazz and all that good stuff. And, coming out of college, like I actually love going to Kingston Mines. It's cool. It's a different energy. It's not your average spot that you find most people going out to each night. But that being said, we're going to try to do it on a different style of live music where like you pair it with the DJ. I mean, I had a cool thought of doing like, obviously Lane 8 has some of the best kind of very chill melodic albums and songs that I've ever heard. It's a big fan of Lane 8. What I think would be cool is they did a female vocalist in there to do like Lane 8 choruses singing live while like a song by Lane 8 is playing from a DJ. So kind of mixing things in here and there.
Now, do you want it to be more of a not pre-recorded, pre-rehearsed thing where this singer and this DJ have worked together before, or they have rehearsed together before?
That's kind of what I'm doing right now. And those are a lot harder to find. It's not your typical, live music gig or live music act. So I'm kind of, I'm talking to everyone I can, seeing who's got, that person that's just chilling in their house right now, has these amazing ideas, absolutely crushes it on a synthesizer, or has some cool ideas for some live music pairings of a DJ and a singer or a band. Those are very far and few between, but I think once I find a couple of good people, get them up and running at Cashmere, it could be a pretty cool show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've seen like at Bodega, River North, they do the drums with the 100%. DJ or the sax with the DJ, same thing, violin.
Like Bandit was the same way. Like I remember last summer it was a lot of full band, full gear, which was cool. I mean, it definitely and they pair it with more commercial house music songs.
Yeah, that's pretty popular.
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool. I definitely like that. I just love seeing somebody create on the spot. And watching like a DJ who's just doing his thing, and then the musician who is so well trained that they can sort of follow along and freestyle with whatever the DJ's doing. That to me is insanely impressive and
totally
amazing
agree.
To watch.
We actually, there was probably one of the coolest adaptations of live music that we've actually done at Cashmere was it was during Arc Music Festival weekend, and we brought this guy in. His name is Sinclair.
He's from Chicago, isn't he?
I think he's from Chicago.
He plays a guitar?
He plays a guitar, yeah.
I remember that, dude.
Yeah. Shout out Sinclair. He came in, plugged him into our speaker system, and he would come out in, because you don't want to do it the whole time, right? And kind of just, it drowns out after a while.
Right. You want to make it special.
Make it special. So he did, then a handful, 15, even 5 minutes. That's just kind of come out when he's feeling it, when he's catching a wave. And he was going right along with the DJs itself, which is, again, it's super fucking impressive.
Wait, he was playing with a different DJ?
So DJs were playing, and then he would just come out. So we have that. We have a stage area, and he would just. I mean, he was even coming out with our bottle service presentations.
Yes,
he would come out with a guitar, playing his guitar alongside, kind of like ad-libbing with whatever song was playing as part of the bottle presentations. I know that was pretty fucking cool. But
that's dope. Because
shout out Sinclair.
I'm pretty sure he's a DJ as well, if I remember correctly.
I'm pretty sure he actually did a set later that evening as well.
Okay, yeah. And I think his thing was that he DJ'd and then would get on the guitar over his own DJ set.
Yeah. But I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was definitely something different. I'm pretty sure he stood up on the bar at one point and I was nervous as all hell because we had just built that shit up. But
yeah, you don't have insurance for that.
I definitely not. My insurance is my job on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super cool. So I mean, the sound system we have at Cashmere is phenomenal. It was built out for things like live music, for things like, you come in at Cashmere and it's loud, but you can still hear the conversation you're having with the person next to you.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's all meant to be kind of a loungy cocktail lounge type environment. Obviously, there's some adaptations of nightlife in there, but no, it's a party. It's a fun party.
That's great, bro. I got to link you with my boys No Good, who are incredible musicians.
I've heard of these guys actually.
They were just here. They were sleeping on my couch. I was sick, unfortunately, but they were in the studio with Apollo for the last 2 nights they were here. Yeah, we're all good friends. But they're incredible musicians. Tanner plays the guitar. We did a party in Houston weekly, Mixed Signals, where we all would just go carousel on the DJ booth, all three of us, 30-minute sets, and then Tanner would pop in with the guitar and just shred over tracks and there. It's so much fun.
I mean, that's what this city kind of needs. That's what this industry itself needs. It needs cool little adaptations like that, things that are different. Everyone's trying to find cool ways to adapt or bring things like that into their venues. And like we mentioned earlier, not like pivoting on the course of like what your brand is, but more so just adding, putting fuel in the fire of what it means to create cool parties and cool aesthetics inside a venue. I think probably the person I've seen that does it the best, just in my time being here, is actually DJ Mauricio, and the way he incorporates some of that stuff into his Sunday Spice parties over at Hubbard Inn.
Does he have live music now?
He does. I've seen him bring in some live bands just to play, but then he works in his DJ skills. So I mean, that guy definitely knows how to throw a party. That's for sure.
Mauricio's the man.
Mauricio's man.
He's like 103, but he looks like he's 23. It's crazy.
Need to beat the shit out of me. That's for sure.
He's fucking jayed up, bro. He's got to be on that testosterone. Mauricio's got to be on that T.
I know the man balls out, and I know the man works out. That guy's crazy. He flies in from Miami every week, and he's a good dude.
He's a beast,
dude.
bro.
Some guy that's also taught me a lot in this industry just from working with him. Yeah. But he's played at Cashmere a couple times, brings in that Latin flair, which I fucking love, and it's spicy, it's awesome, it's fun, it's energetic, and we rock out with it.
Is he still on Virtual DJ?
Last time I saw him, he was on Sticks.
Oh, nice.
No, he's Sticks.
I'm trying to get my Sticks game up, bro. I did No Tell Hotel, Eric's party.
Yeah.
All house music. I got record box. I made a proper
at Electric Hotel, right? That one.
I think it was there, and then he moved it to the 3rd floor of Hubbard Inn. But now he just moved it to Lore.
Gotcha.
This was the last night that it was at Hubbard Inn, and I did the proper playlist for the Sticks. Got record box. Had all my cues, everything lined up.
Were you nervous?
I was a little bit. It's different for me. With my laptop, I feel so secure. I feel safe. I can 100%. Search a song in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But this was all house. It was a 50-minute set.
Okay.
It's most of the kids that are DJing there are like young, hungry, up and coming producer kids. 100%. So like
just want to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, I was not too nervous, but I hop on. And on Record Box, when you're about to put your stick together, it like asks you all these questions of the settings of the CDJ. Like, how do you want it to be? Do you want quantize on? I said no. Do you want this? I'm like making my selections. So then I get on and I'm trying to mix, and I just train wrecked. Just fucking completely wrecked. The reverb of the mixer, the reverb was on, the button was on, but the knob was down, but it's broken. So the reverb's on like 135,000. It's just straight reverb. I'm like, oh God, what's happening here? All right, get it figured out, fix it. Realize that I train wrecked because the last kid that was on before me had sync on. So I had to ask one of the other kids how to turn sync off because my grid wasn't right because I don't know how to use record. But it was a fucking mess, bro. I train wrecked like twice in a row, but then I got all my shit together and I figured it out and it was good. So
you haven't played Stitz yet since.
I haven't since, but now I got that out of the way. Right. You got to get that out of the way.
Yeah,
you know, like I fucking did that. All right, it's out of the way. I'm good to go.
Do you think it's harder, or I think laptop? You're a DJ. you're able to tell me, but is it easier to, like, when you're first starting a DJ, learn via stick or learn via laptop? Because I've tried to, I have a shitty little Pioneer controller in my kitchen, and I'm only playing to a crowd of one, and I'm absolutely shit. And but it's fun, Sometimes I come home fucked up and just play in my fucking kitchen to the whole city of Chicago, whoever's listening, which is just me. But no, so I'm working through my laptop, and people always say it's learn how to do it on stick first. Of course, I have a shitty little 2-in-1 controller which doesn't even have a USB port to plug in, so I'm forced to use my laptop. But what's easier to do? Is it easier to learn on stick, or is it just harder up front to learn on stick? And then
I think it depends. Like, what's your definition of easy, and also what kind of DJ do you want to be? Like, mixing is mixing, right? Sure. Whether you have a laptop or you're on sticks. Oh, you got to listen and be able to correct your mix like that. But when it comes to open format DJing, I think it's easier on a laptop because you could play any song in the entire universe. So, like,
100%.
To be able to search songs and get songs and set up crates and do all that shit is quicker on there. But also, like, I seen Apollo do open format sets on sticks, and he's fast, and so is Maximo. You know what I mean? Like, they're quick. They've been doing it long enough that they are that fast on their shit. So
100%.
I don't know. I would say learn on sticks, just because then you don't have to carry a laptop around.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's true.
I would love to walk into the club, no backpack, just a little headphone purse on my belt buckle with my stick in there.
And that's it.
No risk of getting your laptop stolen, something spilling on it, something happening, whatever. If your stick doesn't work, you got a couple backups. Like, that I'm so jealous of.
Yeah, I feel you.
But
it's funny. It's even you're carrying around a laptop and it's chunky, you got your backpack, this and that. USBs can also be pretty easily left over. I mean, I know just from working at Joy, I will say this, I have a collection of just DJ's USBs, and most people are like, okay, fuck, I'm obviously not going to just steal this guy's whole shit. I usually I would keep them in a safe. Like, I had this one safe at Joy.
You should steal them. Teach them a lesson.
Well, what I do is I just wait at least a couple weeks or so, and I might even reach out to the DJ that was playing before if it's that same day. But no, I definitely have a little collection of some DJ sticks. Yeah. Sorry, boys. I learned how.
But, like, leaving a stick behind is nothing. You're not. It's not like your music is only on that stick. That's true. It's gone. It comes from a computer. You make all the playlists in the computer. You got all your 100%. Music on the computer, this and that. So you're just loading it onto the stick. So that's not that big of a deal.
There has been one time where, like, I've had some DJs kind of frantically asking if they left their USB, and I'm like, and I did it. It's all on your laptop. It's on a hard drive, whatever the case may be. But there's been some times where I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's got one song on here that he just could not let go, and he only got it from his buddy's laptop, so he doesn't have that backed up. And I mean, I get it.
There could be something like that.
It could be a little hectic, or it's attached to their fucking car keys, and they're like, I can't find my keys either, and like, fuck, now I gotta find this dude's car keys.
There's that, or there could be that file on there that's not music at all. You know what I mean? He could have his playlist on there, but then he could have some sort of something he recorded,
something sketchy, something a little too sus that he doesn't want anyone else to see.
Exactly.
It's funny. I've downloaded some of these USBs to my own computer to see, get the track files, this and that, just a little build a base of stuff before I go through, try to select a whole bunch of music, pay for it myself. But I've not found anyone's sussy content on there just yet. So
yeah,
thank God, honestly. I really hope I don't fucking find anyone's weird shit. I'm just going through these USBs.
I want to find that. I think that's the difference between us.
You hold a hostage of blackmail.
I don't want the music.
You want the weird shit?
Yeah, I want the weird shit.
Gotcha.
I actually stole Mad's USB from Joy District.
Did you really?
You know that chick?
Yeah.
Mads?
Yeah.
She played there, and like, I was so mad, bro, because it was on a Friday night before me and Dolo left.
Okay.
And Zach Siegel texted us like the day before or something, and he was like, hey, we have Mads DJing tomorrow, so we don't need you guys. And we were like, well, no. That's not how a residency works.
This is at Joy, right? Siegel used to be a manager at Joy for
yeah,
that's right.
Well, there and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's not how residency works. Like, if you want to have another DJ, cool, we'll open for her or close for her or whatever you need. But like, that's our night. We got to be there. This is how we get paid. We don't book any other Fridays because Friday nights, this is our residency. This is where we're at. And they were like, all right, fine. You guys can open, whatever, blah, blah. So we open for her. She goes on and she is playing just one long track. It's just one long track. She's making it look like she's doing other stuff. And I was a little butthurt. I was probably hammered. And I was like, yo, fuck this bitch. She tried to take our spot and then came in and she's not even DJing. I was all upset. And then she left her USB there. And I was like, I'm fucking taking that shit.
What do you mean when you say one long track? It was just like...
She just had a mix, a pre-recorded mix.
That's what I thought. Yeah, just a mix.
Yeah.
God damn her.
Yeah. But then I was like talking shit on social media and shit, and her manager commented or something. Someone was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Big artists like that have to have a pre-recorded mix for their first song. It's like only 5 minutes long. It's not the whole set, this and that, blah, blah. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
Played a mix, yeah, for sure, 100%. At Bottle Blonde on a Saturday at 2 p.m. when there was 3 people in there.
Oh, no, sure.
I had a mix on and I was like doing my taxes or something while that mix was on.
Yeah, so the rest of you DJs are just doing your taxes while I'm trying to run this venue. I love it.
No, not when it mattered.
Not when it matters. No, of course not.
Yeah.
Did you've never done that either?
I've never done that either.
No, I don't.
No. I would never do that.
Never.
That's insane.
No, absolutely not.
That's crazy. I'm getting paid all this good money. I work hard every time I'm
absolutely
supposed to.
Never drunk.
Never drunk.
Never drunk.
Well,
always.
You kind of want a drunk DJ. You don't want too drunk of a DJ.
100%.
You want a mildly drunk DJ.
I 1000% agree with that statement. Right? It's like I there's been times where like DJs have been too fucked up, and I'm like, all right, like where the fuck's the next guy on? But no, it's you know, you get a little bit more personality in the way you play and the way you talk and your energy as well. Like I don't want a fucking stiff, sober DJ, you know, doesn't know how to rock and roll. Yeah. I will say the one guy that is fucking an absolute beast of a DJ and completely sober is my guy Payday. The guy just absolutely comes
Payday doesn't drink?
Yeah, Payday still doesn't drink, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I haven't seen Payday in a minute, but I love that dude to death. Kid's an absolute beast behind the ones and twos. But no, I mean, you know, it's good to have like that energy. Good to have, you know, like you build the momentum with the crowd. They're dancing, you're dancing. It's good. Yeah, you gotta have it. I mean, even with like staff as well, right? I don't say encourage my staff to drink, but I do what I call a personality shot, right? So it's kind of the beginning of the shift. I get through a little pre-shift. It's all right. Let's do a little personality shot together. I mean, shit, I even need it sometimes.
Team bonding,
a little team bonding, yeah, 100%. Gets you guys ready for the night. You know, a little more comfortable talking to guests. It's, you know, brings people, again, personality shot. So.
Yeah, I feel that. That's crazy. I didn't know Payday didn't drink.
I mean, I haven't seen my boy in, you know, a handful of months now. And it goes back to my point of like, I'm not at Joy anymore. I'm not even in River North anymore. So I can't just kind of bop around to some of the other spots super easily. So,
yeah, you need you guys need like a golf cart. You ever seen those golf carts in Arizona and Scottsdale?
Yeah.
You guys need one of those going up and down Randolph.
Honestly, we gotta get. You know, I've seen it. There's this one bar I think in Ridleyville that has one of those. It's like some cheesy little Mexican like tequila spot, and they have that golf cart that will just drive up and down to Ridleyville. And I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually not a bad idea.
That would be sick.
I got a team meeting tomorrow. I might actually pitch that.
Summertime, little cashmere cart.
A little cashmere cart, absolutely, absolutely. We actually just did something. Not off topic, but something related to Chicago and Cashmere. It's called the Cashmere Handshake. So it's a promo that happened before I was even working at Joy, but basically you come into Cashmere between 8 to 11 p.m. You order a cocktail off our featured cocktail menu. You get a $5 Don Julio 1942 shot. So called it Chicago, like it's a Cashmere Handshake, similar to the Chicago Handshake, which is that shot of Malort in a can of Old Style.
Old Style, yeah.
So yeah, we call it the Cashmere Handshake.
Nice.
Yeah, it's groovy.
That's tight.
Yeah, still building that up, working with the people over Don Julio, so it's been good.
Hell yeah. We do you drink Malort? Are you a Malort guy?
We have it. I fucking hate it. Just
it's
like
the worst.
I mean, I've had it. You know, everyone's had to try it at some point. I've had the shot. Tastes like gasoline. I'm like, doesn't do it for me. You know,
it's not for me either.
No, but there's some people that just they live and die by Malort. Like that one girl or one guy that's just like, oh yeah, you guys have more there? Yeah, have a shot. And they just throw it back like it's fucking water. And I'm like,
it's like a party trick.
Yeah,
they don't actually like it.
It's a bar trick. It's a party trick. And we ordered it for, that's like kind of our opening order at Cashmere for liquor. And I still have, those cases come 6 bottles a case. I think I still have 3 of them. So definitely a party trick. It's definitely, hey, watch this.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Bartender, we just shot him, my lord.
Look what I can do.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Look what I can do.
It's insane. All right. Well, I'm excited, man. I was at Cashmere. I saw my homegirl Fabiola,
yeah.
Fabiola over there.
Fabiola, yeah.
It's a dope spot, man. I like that it's house music. I fucking love that. I like that you guys are staying consistent with one thing and know what you want, and you're going after it and you're getting it.
100%.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Absolutely. No, it's every new venue. We're always competing with the rest of us here in Chicago, but we enjoy a lot of the regulars that come back through. We enjoy the ambiance. We enjoy creating that for you guys, and we want to keep it going. Show the city, give us something a little bit new to the city that they've been used to previously.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to come out on a Thursday. That's when I like to go out and do a little schmoozing and boozing.
Thursdays are they're a little bit more chill for us than Fridays and Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays are definitely still chill, but a little more of a party mode. But Thursdays you kind of do that cocktail lounge kind of feel with that sexy little bit of house music. It's fun. Definitely a good time. Definitely a lot of industry people coming in on Thursdays, which I love. It's good to see people, especially industry people coming through supporting. So. I dig it.
Hell yeah! All right, well, thank you for joining us. Is there anything you want to plug?
No, you've heard it already, probably 1,000 times. But Cashmere, come through. You guys have my phone number. Come check it out. It's a good time. Show you some good hospitality. That's for sure.
Come get a Cashmere handshake.
Come get a Cashmere handshake. Yeah, 1942 is just waiting for you guys. So come through, Cashmere handshake.
That's right. Let's go, champ. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you drop a little comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Algorithm activating activity. Diamond cut. I'm sorry I didn't do that at the beginning. Maybe we can just copy and paste it there. I don't know. But we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it for having me.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.